Good evening and welcome. I'm your presenter, Soana Benjamin, back at the news desk after a brief absence. This is EmoNews for April 22nd, 2026. Now here are tonight's top stories. Structural works complete at Dominica's International Airport FBO facility. Roseau Enhancement Project advances with major contract award. Youths display public speaking skills at 4-H Club competition. Tensions rise in Strait of Hormuz as ceasefire extended. And Chris Gayle becomes co-owner of Glasgow franchise in new European T20 League. Stay tuned for the details of these stories.
Across our Caribbean, we're going digital, working smarter and living safer online.
In Dominica, we don't fall for fake prices. We check before we click.
In Grenada, we verify before we share, keeping our hard-earned money safe from hackers.
In St. Lucia, we report cyberbullying, protecting our children and each other.
In St. Vincent and the Grenadines, we report scams fast, protecting our neighbors and our communities.
Together, we're building a cyber-smart Caribbean, keeping our people and our data safe, standing up to scams and cybercrime. We stay connected, but always alert. This message is brought to you by the Caribbean Digital Transformation Project. Stay smart, stay safe. Think Card TP. Visit cardtpconnect.org.
In local news, progress continues at the Dominica International Airport as works on the Fixed Base Operation FBO facility move into their final phase. According to the latest April 2026 update, structural works on the FBO are now 100% complete, marking a major milestone in the overall airport development. Crews are currently focused on final touches, including surface concrete repairs, interior wall and flooring finishes, as well as ongoing mechanical, electrical, and plumbing installations. The Fixed Base Operation facility will play a critical role in supporting private aviation services and enhancing the airport's operational capacity once completed. Officials say more updates will be provided as the project moves closer to full completion, bringing Dominica one step nearer to realizing its international airport ambitions. In more local news, the Portsmouth Secondary School has expressed heartfelt appreciation to the Class of 1997 Alumni Association for a generous donation that will directly benefit students. The alumni group recently presented the school with a stove, a contribution that will significantly support practical programs and enhance hands-on learning experiences. School officials say the donation will strengthen skills-based education, particularly in areas requiring functional equipment, helping to better prepare students for real-world opportunities. They also praised the alumni for their continued commitment to giving back and investing in the next generation, noting that such contributions have a lasting impact on the school community. In other local news, the government of Dominica has taken a significant step forward in the Roseau Enhancement Project Phase 2 with the award of a key consultancy contract for the design review and the supervision of rehabilitation works across 7 major streets in the capital. The contract, valued at US $2.24 million, has been awarded to Saudi Arabia Consulting Engineering Office, PACE, in association with Corisaf Inc., following a competitive selection process conducted under the guidelines of the Saudi Fund for Development. The procurement process utilized a quality and cost-based selection method with participation limited to Saudi firms or joint ventures with local partners. 2 eligible firms submitted proposals, with PACE emerging as the successful bidder. The consultancy engagement will span 42 months and will be carried out in 3 phases. Phase 1, 6 months, design review and support for procurement of civil works. Phase 2, 24 months, construction supervision of road rehabilitation works. Phase 3, 12 months, defects liability oversight. The consultancy team will provide critical technical oversight to ensure all works meet high-quality standards, aligning with the government's vision of a modern, resilient, and pedestrian-friendly Roseau. 7 major streets are set to undergo rehabilitation. These are Independence Street, Bath Road, Cox Street, Great George Street, Virgin Lane, River Street, and the King George V Street. Also on the local scene, the Dominica 4-H Club hosted its public speaking competition for primary and secondary school students earlier today. The event was held at the Truth and Grace Fellowship Church on Bath Road in Roseau, bringing together young participants from across the island to showcase their communication skills. The competition formed part of the club's ongoing efforts to develop leadership, critical thinking, and public speaking abilities among youth in Dominica. Students engaged the audience with prepared speeches, demonstrating confidence and creativity while addressing a range of topics relevant to their development. The initiative continues to play a key role in nurturing the next generation of leaders and empowering young voices within the community. And finally, in local news, Lucy Bell Matthew was officially confirmed on Monday as the new mayor of the city of Roseau, after serving as a councillor for nearly 3 decades. Matthew was formally presented with the mayoral chain by the President of Dominica, Her Excellency Sylvanie Burton. In her inaugural address, Mayor Matthew pledged to work collaboratively with all stakeholders, emphasizing her readiness to serve the municipality with dedication and purpose.
I accept this office with a deep sense of humility. I am mindful that the role of mayor is not one of privilege, but of service. It is a solemn duty to safeguard the welfare of our citizens, to strengthen the foundation of our council, and to ensure that Roseau continues to thrive as the heartbeat of our nation. Be assured, I will not disappoint you. You have given me the mandate to lead and serve. You have placed your trust in me by electing me as the mayor of our beloved city. I stand before you, not only as the longest-serving member of the council, but one who served with passion and diligence. My DNA is deeply rooted in the life of the Roseau City Council, an institution I truly love, an institution which I serve and which God has now called me to lead.
She called on councillors to embrace change in the face of challenges, urging them to serve with respect and diligence.
For us, the returning councillors, we must be prepared to accept change, because we cannot continue to do things as normal, and to work harmoniously for the advancement of our city. It is not going to be an easy task. We are aware of many challenges ahead. Beyond oath, it is incumbent upon all of us to serve this noble institution without fear, affection, favor, or ill will. I call upon you to serve respectfully and diligently.
The mayor acknowledged the concerns and challenges facing residents, while assuring that her council is committed to addressing these issues despite the significant task ahead.
My dear residents, we have heard your cries and we have listened to the critics. We are aware of the things that needs to be done and for the improvement of our city. We are aware that we have had some shortcomings and challenges. I can promise you that the new term of this council, we will continue to dedicate in addressing your concerns and undertaking the work that is needed in various areas within the boundaries of the city. We are also aware of the huge task ahead of the council, and we seek to partner with you, the people, who are one of the most important stakeholders in the development of our beautiful city.
Among her immediate priorities, Mayor Matthew highlighted several key areas her administration intends to tackle.
The council will be putting measures in place to deal with the question of sanitation of vacant lots and dilapidated buildings in the city of Roseau. We are appealing to the owners of such properties to take immediate action to comply with council's regulation. We trust that all property owners comply with council and central government as the law itself requests that you do so. Council will make recommendation to government for the revision of property tax regulation in order to deal with these issues more effectively. The authority of council must be recognized and respected. There cannot be full and effective representation without your commitment to pay your taxes and fulfilling your obligation to council. It is as simple as that. We must invest in our development, work with us and central government.
Meanwhile, Minister of Culture, Youth, Sports and Community Development, Honorable Greta Roberts, extended congratulations to the new councillors, noting that their willingness to serve reflects a strong commitment to the people and the development of the capital city.
Serving on any village council is honorable, but serving on the city council carries a particular weight. You are now an important tier of our system of governance. You are the instrument through which national priorities are translated into tangible benefits for the citizens. As such, expectations will be high and demands will be many. Our citizens will expect you to be responsive to their needs, accountable in their actions, and united in their purpose. Some of you return with experience, now entering your third or fourth term, while others join for the first time. Regardless of tenure, the call to serve remains the same: to act with humility, integrity, purpose, and a genuine commitment to the people you serve.
She reminded them that service on the city council comes with high expectations and demands diligence and sacrifice.
Your presence here today reflects that spirit. Service requires sacrifice. Sacrifice of time, of energy, and sometimes even personal comfort. But it's through such sacrifice that communities can grow and nations can advance. As councillors, you are entrusted with the responsibility to work together collaboratively and constructively. This will require determination, diligence, fairness, and above all, a shared sense of purpose. The enthusiasm that carried you through the election process must now be translated into consistent and meaningful action. For those appointed as nominated members, the responsibility is no less significant. You too, and even more so, have been entrusted with this role since you were carefully chosen, and I urge you to embrace the solemnity of the oath that you just took.
That's all for tonight's local news. Stay tuned for regional news coming up. Regionally, Guyana's President Irfan Ali has held high-level talks with the European Union aimed at strengthening trade and development partnerships. Discussions focused on improving trade relations and addressing challenges affecting both public and private sector engagement. The European Investment Bank reaffirmed its support for Guyana's development, including areas such as health, education, climate resilience, and energy security. Officials say the meeting signals continued collaboration to expand economic ties and drive sustainable growth. And in St. Vincent, Opposition leader Honorable Ralph Gonsalves has responded to reports that proposed changes to the electoral laws and constitution in St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be referred to a select committee rather than being debated immediately in Parliament. The move means the legislation will undergo further review and consultation before returning to the House for full debate, a development that has sparked reaction within political circles. Gonsalves raised concerns about the delay, emphasizing the importance of transparency and timely discussion on matters of national significance, particularly those relating to electoral reform and constitutional change.
The courts have repeatedly ruled on the misuse of legislative power. The legislative power has limits. And what is clear also about this, the people know that in 2009 they voted to keep that provision in the Constitution. And now he's seeking, by using a 2/3 majority, which is permissible under the Constitution for this particular provision in the Constitution, to alter it, to benefit himself and Bramble. And the people will not stand for it. And that's why he's backing away, backpedaling, trying to cool people's anger. But the only thing which would satisfy the people, here and in the region and globally too, those who are interested in it, would be that he would withdraw these bills and let the court decide in July the status of the petitions in relation to the law at the time of the nomination and election last year.
The proposed amendments are expected to address key aspects of the country's electoral framework, though debate on the measures has now been postponed, pending the outcome of the Select Committee's review.
To do that, and we have some very good ideas, we have some very good partners, so I'm excited about it. But it takes a little time, and we don't want to get bogged down with distractions. The point of the matter is...
Well, you certainly created your own distraction, Prime Minister, by bringing those two bills putting those two bills on the Parliament on the order. Well, you brought six bills, but two very controversial ones, which people have described as self-serving, given that you are one of the two people who are named in the petition.
This is going to clarify something later on, and so on. Let the court do the business, and then we will have this matter clear, so that you can't have sole rulers coming to the court and saying they don't want to turn over things and so forth. This matter is clear to me, it's clear to most people, it's clear to the jurists and so forth. We just want to make sure now that it's clear in the statute, and that will come in time. Okay?
Thank you, Prime Minister.
You're welcome.
The development has added to ongoing discussions surrounding governance and electoral reform in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. And in Grenada, Grenada's agricultural sector is getting a boost as farmers took part in a community engagement hosted by the Rural Development Unit and PISLM. The session, part of the Soil Care Project, updated farmers on efforts to strengthen sustainable agriculture and build resilience. Project Manager Trevor Thompson highlighted progress at the Chambord site, including 2 new shade houses to support plant propagation. Upcoming work will also see the rehabilitation of the Chambord Pond and Pump House. Farmers shared feedback and ideas, while key government and agricultural officials were in attendance. The initiative is funded by the Global Environment Facility, executed by PISLM, with support from the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations. And that's all for regional news. Stay tuned for international news.
Blast Gaming presents its biggest job whatever. Blast Mystery Progressive. I'm so excited. I can't hide it. The new Blast Jackpot rising. And I like it. It going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up and up and up and up.
Play selected games to win in the Blast Mystery Progressive. Pick until you match 3 gems and win one of the 5 cash jackpots. Or you can blast up with the Mystery Progressive Jackpot.
It's going up and up and up and up and up. Blast up and up and up. Blast Gaming.
And internationally, tensions remain high in the Middle East after ships were attacked in the Strait of Hormuz, a key global oil route. Maritime reports say at least 2 container vessels came under gunfire, raising fresh security concerns. Iran's Revolutionary Guard had earlier warned it could shut down the strait if a U.S. blockade on its ports continues. U.S. President Donald Trump says the ceasefire with Iran will be extended as negotiations continue. He confirmed the blockade will remain in place despite strong objections from Iran, who call it an act of war. The U.S. says lifting the blockade now could weaken its negotiating position as global attention stays fixed on the vital shipping corridor. In the U.S., California authorities have uncovered a major hospice fraud scheme that allegedly drained more than $267 million from funds meant for vulnerable patients. More than 20 people have been charged, with 5 already arrested in what officials call Operation Skip Trace. Investigators say the group used stolen identities to enroll fake patients in medical and billed for services that were never provided. Authorities allege the suspects purchased multiple hospice companies as part of the scheme to defraud the state and launder money. State Attorney General Rob Bonta warned that anyone exploiting healthcare programs will be held accountable, as officials stress a zero-tolerance approach to fraud. The case follows a separate federal investigation involving another multi-million-dollar hospice scam. And finally, in international news, Pope Leo's 11-day tour of 4 African countries is drawing both praise and criticism. The Pope is currently in Angola following earlier stops that attracted large crowds of worshippers across the continent. Some critics have questioned visits to Cameroon and Equatorial Guinea, suggesting possible political implications due to their long-standing governments. The trip has also faced diplomatic tension with the United States over comments on the Middle East, though the Pope says his focus is on peace building. He has used the visit to speak against corruption and the exploitation of Africa's resources, while calling for reconciliation in conflict areas. And that's all for international news. Stay tuned for sports.
Tico, that's $800. Cash or card?
When cash is low, Tico is still ready.
Always card, Chalo. Would you like a copy of the receipt?
No, Chalo. NBD already sent me the alert and I'll see it on Mo Banking later. That is it. From card to farm. Power your business with the NBD Small Business Credit Card. Your partner, your bank.
And first up in sports news, commanding performances were on display at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium as the Dominica State College and the Pierre Charles Secondary School recorded victories in school boys basketball. 2 matches were played in the secondary school's basketball championship organized by the sports division. In Game 1, the Dominica State College DSC delivered a dominant performance, defeating the Dominica Grammar School 106-46. Leading the charge for the DSC was Nigel George with an impressive 41 points, supported by Zachary Julian with 22 points and Sherman Kazimi with 16. For the Dominica Grammar School, Kristen Peters scored 22 points and Aiden Cavavier added 14. In Game 2, the Pierre Charles Secondary School edged out the St. Mary's Academy 64-59 in a closely contested encounter. Milton Thomas led the charge for the Pierre Charles Secondary with 22 points. Kyrone Henderson contributed 15 and Kaylan George added 13. For the St. Mary's Academy, Mariano Blanc top scored with 23 points, while Jaden Tong chipped in 13 and Dylan Grant added 12. A domestic cricket match in Antigua was abandoned due to safety concerns after a batter was struck on the helmet during play. Leeward Islands batter Jeremiah Louis was hit by a rising delivery from Trinidad and Tobago fast bowler Jaden Seals at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium. He walked off the field and was later taken to the hospital with a suspected concussion. Cricket West Indies says he is in stable condition. Officials then called off the match, citing an unsafe pitch with uneven and unpredictable behavior. The game was declared a draw. Before play was stopped, Seals took 7 wickets as the Leeward Islands were reduced to 140 for 7. The venue is due to host a regional final in May, with officials saying work is underway to ensure the pitch is safe for play. And finally, in sports news, West Indies cricket legend Chris Gayle has been named co-owner of a Glasgow franchise in the new European T20 Premier League. Gayle has partnered with the McGuffey Group, with the team set to compete as the Glasgow McGuffians in the league's inaugural season. The tournament, backed by the cricket boards of Ireland, Scotland, and the Netherlands, will feature teams across several European cities. Gayle says the move marks an exciting new chapter, highlighting Europe as a growing market for cricket and emerging talent. And that's all for sports. Stay tuned for the weather report. And here is the weather forecast for the next 24 hours from the Dominica Meteorological Service. The weather will be fair to occasionally cloudy, with a few brief showers expected as weak unstable conditions linger across the island. Winds will be from the northeast to east at 10 to 20 kilometers per hour. Seas are slight to moderate with waves between 3 and 5 feet. There are currently no warnings or advisories in effect. Marine users are advised to exercise caution, particularly along the western coast where ground swells may increase. And as always, we remind you to stay informed and stay safe. This concludes Emo Nightly News for April 22nd, 2026. I am Soana Benjamin and I'll be back with you tomorrow evening. Thank you for watching and good night.